Welcome back, everyone. So I was asked a direct question by several people in the comments section the other day on my video about Lori Vallow and her weird and twisted attorney, Mr. Means. The question that so many people had asked in various ways was about the new charges that have been filed out of Maricopa County in Arizona. The one count of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, then in the death of her fourth husband, Charles Vallow. And would she have to actually stand trial in Arizona? Could we have two trials? Would they find her, and would she have to go through the entire mental health evaluation again? Could she plead insanity in Arizona, unlike she can in the state of Idaho? These are all very good questions. And I thank each and every person out there who asked them, because, in a lot of ways, I didn't even think about it myself until the question was asked, and I had to look into it. So let's take it one part at a time. All right, first, let's look at the actual charges that she is currently facing in Idaho. We have to start there. Right now, we know everything on the case of Lori Vallow has been put on hold because she has been sent off to the state mental hospital to have restorative care, so she can aid in her own defense, and that she will be mentally competent to not only aid in her own defense, but understand the ramifications for, well, having your own children killed. She has to understand the ramifications of what she did. And we all know she most likely did. And I would put it probably at about a 99.9% chance she understood what she was doing. She just didn't care. But anyways, taking my opinion out of it, I think, if she's restored, she goes on trial in Idaho, she stands for the charges. If she's found guilty of the murder charges, one for JJ, one for Tylee, the multiple conspiracy charges that she is facing with Chad, plus the abandonment and the misuse of actual funds, if she's found guilty of all that, ladies and gentlemen, in the state of Idaho, she will go to prison. She will get a sentence that is basically life without will she get possibility of parole. It would be so far out she could not live to that actual date for the parole. So she would go away to prison for an awfully long time. Would the state of Arizona then press the actual court date and have her be extradited back to Arizona to stand trial? Well, it would be a huge waste of taxpayer dollars to have her extradited back to Arizona. But let's just for a second, hypothetically take this from that perspective. Let's say in the state of Idaho, she's found guilty of a couple of charges, but not the more serious charges. And she's given maybe 10 years in prison. Would the state of Arizona at that point want to extradite her back to stand trial for the conspiracy to have her fourth husband, Charles Vallow, murdered by her brother, Alex Cox? Well, yeah, probably. I would put it at a very good likelihood, probably in the 90 percentile, that they would have her extradited back as soon as she served out her prison sentence in Idaho. They would extradite her back to Arizona to stand trial. Well, what would happen with the competency? Well, immediately after she got out of prison in Idaho, she would have to go through the entire thing again, because any defense attorney, and even someone as bird-brained as Mr. Means, even a decent attorney would bring up the competency issue in Idaho and say, I want her to be evaluated here. So the state would just automatically, once she'd been extradited back to Arizona, they would make her go through a competency hearing there so they couldn't bring it up, well, she's incompetent. But additionally, in the state of Arizona, you can actually have the legal defense of mentally incompetent or unable to understand the ramifications of your crime at the time of the crime. She could have been mentally insane underneath Arizona law that said, look, she didn't understand what she was doing at the moment she told her brother to kill her fourth husband. At that time, she was mentally incompetent. But here she is competent now. She could use that defense in the state of Arizona. She cannot, repeat, she cannot use that defense in the state of Idaho. So by everyone out there who is a legal scholar or an attorney of any sort at all, or even a true crime buff, who has been looking at the charges of, against her in the state of Idaho, Lori is looking at a very lengthy sentence on the charges that she has now. Does this mean the charges that she has now in Idaho are the only charges she will be facing in the state of Idaho? Does this mean that they could not charge her with additional crimes in Arizona if it comes up through discovery that there was other crimes that she may have committed in the state of Arizona? No, it does not mean that that is the only charges. In the state of Idaho, Mr. Wood could file additional charges if he finds that somewhere along between now and the trial starting that there are additional crimes that Lori actually committed in the state of Idaho. He can file charges against her. The same thing goes with the state of Arizona. They can additionally add more charges as well. Now, let us not forget that Lori Vallow, even if she was to get off scot-free in Arizona and get off scot-free in the state of Idaho on all charges, somehow miraculously is an evil genius and is able to get her off on all the charges that she has pending against her in the state of Idaho, and she hires a good attorney who is able to practice law in the state of Arizona, and Mr. Means is not eligible to practice law. He can apply to practice law and take the bar exam in Arizona, but he is not licensed to practice law in Arizona. But let's just say she gets off from every charge she has against her right now. The federal government is sitting in the wings, waiting. They would love nothing more to sink their teeth into somebody like Lori Vallow. What would the federal government possibly want to file charges against her for? Well, first off, the federal charge of murder for hire. The charge, if she actually, and they're able to prove that Lori gave instructions to Alex to kill Tylee and take her from Yellowstone Park back home and kill her, that is leaving from one state across state borders, and that is a federal charge of murder for hire. Additionally, the charges could be filed at the federal level for Social Security fraud. She illegally obtained Social Security benefits for the deaths from Joseph Ryan and from Charles Vallow. And not only did she obtain those benefits, but she obtained benefits that were due to her minor children after she knew they were dead. Those are 3 serious felony charges that you don't ever want happening against you, because the feds have a 97% success rate at prosecuting the Social Security fraud charges. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they're very good at it. They dot all their I's and cross all their T's, and then they come after you like a vicious bulldog. You don't want the government coming after you. So that is where we are right now. I'm sure between now and when any of these trials ever get started, Mr. Means will file a litany of more strange, bizarre requests. She doesn't have any money, so she has no counsel on record in Arizona from, to answer or to put in any kind of, not guilty plea in Arizona. They will appoint a public defender there in her absence to actually put in the not guilty plea. That's where we're at. thank you everyone for the questions, in the comment section on the last video. If you have a question that you would like to hear me answer, please put it in the comment section below. I will try to answer it in a video like this, or maybe I'll answer it on a live stream on the weekends, because I live stream Saturday mornings and I do true crime trivia every Sunday night. And I do take occasionally questions in the live stream during the true crime trivia to answer. And if I can, I'll answer it then. But I will definitely answer your question if it is something that I can research and actually answer. But thank you everyone for joining me today. You have a terrific week.